Hi there, Andrew from C1D Paintball. Now this video is one of the videos I've been editing recently, with COVID and not a lot of content recorded in the past 6 months, just going back at some old footage to see if there's maybe some stuff that I've missed that would make a good video. And this really, in my opinion, is a bit of a gem. It's about 2018. Connor and I had been playing as full-time members of LaSalle Paintball for maybe about 4 months, 6 months the most. And really at this point in time, this game kind of shows where we had finally taken that step up from, there's rentals and then there's guys that buy the gear to become full-time. Well, you're still essentially rentals. When you start playing and learning, then you go up and take the next step. This game shows where we take the next step, in my opinion. Now, why we didn't release this one before is probably there's a crappy kind of angle I have because I mounted the helmet. Usually I have it on the front. I had it on the side, and it's decent. It's not great view, but it's decent view. And back when I was editing videos back then, I didn't really stop, freeze frame, and do overlays of maps to explain stuff. So as just a raw video of action with the camera out on the side, wasn't that great. So probably the biggest reason why I hadn't released it before and subsequently just kind of forgotten about it. Now, one kind of cool thing about looking at this later is I can see some of the little mistakes I was still making. Yeah, we started to become better players at the field, but I make some mistakes here and things that I've learned, and I figure, you know what, there's some players that probably go to the field, been there just a couple times, they want to get a little better. Maybe some of the stuff I do here and point out are mistakes they're making and can help them out. Now, another thing that kind of jumped out at me is most of the action, Connor and I get situated inside on top of City Hall, the second floor. Now, in hindsight, it's kind of a noob area. When you spawn in the east, when we spawn in the east nowadays, we usually take the ground floor so we can kind of weave through. We know the angles a lot better, we know the field better. We do go on the second floor, but we tend to stay out of that area. We might just go over to the mid or to the north to pick people off. The only time we'll go near this area is when we're passing through the bridge to go to the crow's nest or back and forth between the mid. So that's the only time we really go there now. Biggest factor here is that there was a lot of noobs on the field. A lot of new players. Again, not a derogatory comment. Call them rentals. I should call them rentals. If I call them noob down the line of this video, it's rentals, not derogatory. Because being in this spot, and it is a noob spot, I'm not going to call it a rental spot. This area really is a noob spot. You're exposed on the right flank if you lean back towards the front catwalk. In those two windows, yeah, you can see the field and pick people off, but experienced players will time it out, wait, and they'll get you in there. But in this case, with all the new players in there, we were able to use this to our advantage because those new players on the other side just didn't know how to counter it. So that's a big thing to take, and that's another contributing factor to when I say we started to become better players. We took advantage of that situation because we knew the field a bit, and it's like, hey, we can go all around there. But it was kind of after the game we realized, you know what, as we get better, we shouldn't pick on new players like that, and we basically stopped going there. I rarely go up there now. Now, as the game starts, it's your typical situation where you've got a lot of new players. There's going to be a lot of paint flying. So, pretty basic. Try to get to a good spot that's got good cover that will allow you to, once all the firing starts, once the initial volley stops, that you can actually do a counter as well. So we're going to get in position, wait out while the paint flies a bit, then go. So that's one thing Connor and I learned very early, especially in indoor paintball close quarters, is with a lot of people, is you're really playing with fire if you just free fire from the start. Get behind cover, duck. So Connor and I run up after this game starts, and we're going to go to that second floor of the City Hall.
You guys know where the stairs are? New players. Hey, new players. There's 3 sets of stairs up. There's one there, there's one here, and there's the far left. Obviously, the further you go, the tougher it is to get there. Middle's not too bad. Connor, you want to go mid with me up on top? Yeah, but he sucks you in. You know what? Don't go into a duel with him. Just explain where he is and try to get around him. It's gonna be easier with 2 floors on him. You want to go mid or you want to go here? We go here, but just... I'll meet you up there. You guys want to just go up ahead? Because I'm going to run in the back here.
All right, now, as I get into the second floor here, Connor's already there. He's calling out there's guys at Triangle. Triangle is the mid area of the catwalk across from us. So the west, people spawning on the west side go here. It's a bit of a tricky place to get into because the catwalk with the slats leave you open to get hit. Once you get in that position, you've got some options where to shoot. You can go either side of the field, left or right. You've got leaning over slightly into the catwalk so you can shoot the floor. Again, risky to move in and out of there, but if you get in there, you can be a real thorn in the side of the other team. So Connor pointing out that there's guys there, okay, we got to get rid of those guys. But at the same time he's telling me this, I spot at least 2 guys. Just visually 2 guys. There was probably 3 or 4 in there. They're in the office, directly in front of us. Ironically, at this point, I never really went there. It's become one of my favorite spots to take up. When I spawn on the west side, I like to go up in the office. Not all the time, but it's one of my favorite areas. The office, by the way, has one big window in front of it, and where we are, we have 2 little windows. Just some various, because effectively they're across from each other. But, you know, all this is happening at the same time. We've got those guys in triangles, we've got guys in the office, a lot of bodies, at least 5-6 guys in those spots. We got to do something, we got to get those guys out, and we got to do something fast.
Connor, yeah, there's 2 right ahead of you.
Now, as I said, and as you saw, Connor tells me there's guys in triangle, I tell him there's guys in the office, and then you see Connor head for cover. He's down on the floor because I start shooting over him through those windows, those 2 windows, into the office. This looks like a real teamwork, you know. We make call outs, he goes to the floor because he knows I'm going to shoot over him. It wasn't like that. I didn't warn Connor. I guess he saw me pull my marker up. And by the way, I'm towards the back of the room, so it's a little darker. It's harder for them to see me. But anyway, Connor ducks for cover for dear life as I shoot over his head. It wasn't a planned play. I didn't, you know, I should have said, okay, hit the floor. Instead, he sees my marker go up. He hits the floor, protecting himself for dear life. I shoot over him, and I'm throwing a lot of paint in there. I want to concentrate on triangles too, but first I want to get those guys in front of us. If I don't hit any of them, at least I'll have them duck for cover.
I see. I know. The pin there.
So now I've gone to the back of that second floor and leaned over a bit onto the catwalk to see if I got a better angle at triangles. Really, I don't. So, you know, it doesn't take me long before I go back into the main area. And being back here, I'm going back in my chair to reiterate this. You got the two windows. What's good about shooting back there is I'm shooting at the right window and just a slight angle, and I can shoot at the left. So for the guys on the other side on the second floors, they're going to have shots coming from both windows, and take into account Connor's also popping up and firing shots their way as well.
Watch it. So I'm on the one window, I got him on the other. Dude, tell us if they come down. I got him. Bring him in. I got 3. Good call out.
Okay, so you can hear the shots are dying out a bit. And I mentioned to Connor I've actually taken out 3 enemies in the office in front of me. And honestly, if you gave assists away in paintball, Connor deserves huge assists because he was calling out where everybody was. He helped me focus on it, so I really appreciated that, that's for sure. All right, so I'm gonna make a mistake here, but luckily, because of the lip of the window, I don't get hit. Mentioned before, I was in the back in the shadows shooting at the office, so even if they see me, if you're shooting from the office, you'll see this big window, you'll see a bit of a guy in the back there. But now what I've done is I've gone right up to the front of the window. I'm like, my body is probably a quarter to a third of the window. You can see me. So they return fire, and like I said, it just hits the edge of the window frame. I get hit by splash, but I don't get hit by the ball, so luckily I'm allowed to stay in the game. Luck is a big part of paintball. I don't care how much mad skills, God, I hate that term, you have. Luck is a major part of paintball, as it is in a lot of sports, but honestly, big part of paintball. Now, I am going to, after this close call, I'm going to go back a little bit, more along the wall. I'm going to reapproach, because I got back in there. I want to get back in there. I want to make sure they don't advance or anything, or get any false hope. Maybe he even thought he got me. So, I go on the wall, and I creep in a better angle, put a couple of warning shots, some cover fire, so they didn't get me, so I'm right back into the fight there.
Flash. Connor, there's 2 of them at mid. I'll try to poke my head out, see if I can draw his fire. Oh shit, no. He's hit. They're both down. Good call outs. Check!
Alright, so now I've taken out an enemy who's on top of the jail, and this is that situation where we're no longer noobs. This part of the map, you usually see to that office section, you see the midsection, and you see the floor around you. It's really a shot across there that you have to get a pretty decent angle to get on top of the jail. And the jail, at the back of the jail where I hit this guy, you know, you have to know that guys go there. Even though, you know, you can see clear in the frame, I spotted him. I was anticipating him being there. So this is where, you know, I just bashed myself before for making poor decisions. Didn't know better. But this was actually, my experience was starting to show in this move.
He's hit! Yeah. Are you serious? I think I took out the camel. Good call outs. Wait, you still got the guy on the left here? Tell me what you see!
Oh, what about the Gilly in the back?
Gilly? Gilly net!
All right, so things start to calm down a bit. And I call out to my teammates to let me know what they see. This is something I've always done. I think it's a good skill, and obviously I still do it today. It's calming down a bit. It's like, okay guys, what do you see? We know we've just taken out a bunch of players. We cleared out the top essentially. We've gotten at least 6-7 players out. So I call out, of course, my sidekick, my best friend, my good paintball buddy Connor, sees somebody in the back gilly. He responds to me. Now, gilly is an area kind of ahead of us, but on the first floor in the back. It's almost towards the back wall. Now, it ends up being a little kid. We're not going to shoot him. He's a new rental, and he's a little guy on top of it. We're not going to be jerks and take him out from that position. So he's at the gilly there. However, we are aware he's there. And by the way, very often when you have a little guy like that, is they may have a big buddy playing with him, whether it's a brother, mother, sister, father, whoever, or just the brother's older friends, maybe his brother. You're not going to paintball unless you bring your little brother. Anyway, so we're not going to take him out, but this is an example of like one of the things it's important to do. It's calming down. Okay, guys. Okay. We weathered that. What do you see? So that's the situation we're in right now.
That was a long distance shot across the map. I don't know who's left. Who's left? Any reds left? All right, cool. What? Speedball left? Speedball left! Green, come down and flank him. I can go down and get him. Poke my head around the corner. Yeah, both of them left. Have you got an angle from them there? Shit. Okay, do that. Window back!
Now, I'm paying attention to the South Pass now, which is a critical area on the map. Obviously, your north and south exteriors, when you're in a rectangular room, are important. South Pass, as many of our videos show, critical area in this. Now, there's a really good speedball player on the other team, and sure enough, I mentioned about the new little guy by the gilly. He'll usually, little guys will have another player near them to help protect them, insulate them. Speedball's there. Now, I'm kind of leaning over, trying to draw his fire. As I'm leaning over the catwalk here, maybe Connor in the window can pop him because he's got a decent angle at him. And guess what? I got lucky because I got popped in the elbow. I hope there's a painful expression on my face. You know when they don't break, why do they hurt so much? Now, you can see there is a bit of yellow there because previously in the day, I'd been nailed there a couple of times. So my arm is as sore as hell. And you can see me a couple times in this game, especially at the end, kind of like moving on that arm because it took a beating there. And by the way, in case it comes off that I'm being like, I'm not being a jerk saying, oh, it bounced, it didn't hit me. When you got, especially when you got an experienced player like that, and you're kind of having a showdown with him, gets me there. So he's probably methodically taking everybody out. It's important to tell him. First of all, you want to make sure you call out hits and get off. But if he doesn't hit you, you want to lean over and tell him it bounced. Just because you don't want to have, whether it's an argument after the fact, or he might be upset saying, oh, didn't I hit you? I saw you staying in the match. No, tell him right away, dude, it bounced. So that's the reason why I did that. And while we have Speedball there, and even the little guy behind him, an area that traditionally they can push us at, for me, I am getting the vibe that they're digging in there for a defensive role.
Didn't break. Take a look. No break. I don't know. You're gonna try to flank. Bill!
Now Connor is tracking Speedball, and Speedball is moving more towards the mid area, so he's in the south, just north of that area. And I decide I'm going to go more mid to see if I can take him out. Now I go to this area that you see on the graphic. I'm not sure where I'm pointing because I'm recording this and I don't know how it situates on the screen, but anyway, this is the way it is. I might have I played dozens of games on this field since I took this video. I've maybe gone in this area once, maybe twice since. This is not a good area. It is not a good area, especially if there's a lot of players. I just can't find a good situation where it is. I mean, you can go prone and kind of just look on this one specific area down on the south path. Like camping, you limit your ability to help the team. Really bad spot to go there and try to get anybody, but you learn. And you can easily be picked off. Even if you go prone, if there is somebody in triangles, they can take you out. And even if there's somebody paying attention from the back that's got a really good marker, it's got kind of a sharp angle where I am in the floor, that area, but I get taken out. So again, I'm lucky somebody isn't paying attention to where I am, because I should have been an easy target for me.
Good, keep it up.
So here's a really good angle on why this is such a bad spot. First of all, I'm poking my head out over this flat area because there's no like barriers. Like Triangle has little triangles that go up. And I have a 180 view of the field. I got a great view of the field. And every spot I see has a great angle in my head. So I got half a dozen good firing positions, good power positions on the field where they can get me. Meanwhile, I've got this one exposed position, so that's why, don't go here. Don't go here.
I see him. I got angle. Hold it up. I got him. He ran right. I got him. I've got visual. Hold tight. I see. I see him. I'm not gonna let him go. Good draw fire. Right side! I'm going flank. No speed. This one guy's coming on the right.
Okay, so I've moved a bit more north on our catwalk because it's not the Speedball player, but I tracked another enemy player who's gone to Graveyard. Now, speaking of Speedball, to my right at the top of this catwalk is our Speedball player. So he's got a good angle from here. And, I call out that I see a guy in the Graveyard area around jail. And I'm going to offer to be a decoy. So I'm going to go back towards Connor, to the south part of the catwalk. And as I go across from there, Speedball can maybe, if somebody starts shooting at me, exposes himself, Speedball can hopefully nail them and bring us one man closer to winning this game.
There's a guy over there, he's straight ahead. He knows where I am. I don't think you can see straight down there. What I'm gonna do is run through here. He's gonna try to get me. You might have a shot at him there.
Now, as I get back to the top of the City Hall, Connor reminds me there's somebody in the south path. I am going to fire a few shots to let them know that, and Connor has been firing shots as well, but I'm going to let them know that there's more than one guy here putting pressure on them. So I mentioned before that I didn't think they were going to push. Well, I want them to keep staying back. Hopefully I'm right and they're not going to push there, and give us time to maybe get down and push ourselves here.
He's going to flank. Red, keep your eye on the guy on the right. I don't care about your gun. Just tell me if you see him move, okay? No. He's on the run. I'm going across saloon. I'm going to the left perch, okay?
Now, as you heard, I'm going to cross the catwalk here and go to the crow's nest. Important to point out now at the field is there's a ghillie net hanging there, which protects you a bit more when you're running across, because at the time I went across this, the gaps in there, I mean, it's a really dangerous move. So once again, luck is on my side, but you know, you do have to go back and forth with the catwalks. There's another set of stairs I could have gone down. But at this point, even though I'm going to go down on the left side, I just wanted to go to the crow's nest to see what was going on. So I'm going to go across there.
Zero Dragons!
Gilly?
Okay, so maybe it was me rushing across that bridge, but now there's a lot of activity. The shots have heated up again. And there's a lot of activity on that south pass. Connor's exchanging a lot of fire with Gilly. Yeah, it's probably the little kid, but there's more than one guy there. We know there's at least two other guys on the field, because when I ran across as a decoy, Speedball did not get that other guy. So we got their Speedball, the guy that our Speedball was trying to track down. And at the very least, you know, we've got that other little guy there too. So probably the only three guys left on the field are those guys. We're exchanging fire with them right now, so they're concentrating on targets. It isn't me. So I'm going to go down on the main floor. I'm going to go down there and see if I can capitalize on their attention that's focused somewhere else and maybe mop up some kills. I know there's not a lot of time left, so I got to get down there and see what I can do.
Game over.
Oh my God. Good game. Good game. Good game.
So that's it. The game is a draw, and there's me shaking my sore arm. Why is it the ones that don't break hurt so much? A fun game. Really fun to watch it so far down the line to see how I've learned about the map and improved play on it. And, you know, even though I've learned not to do a lot of the things I pointed out, had I studied this video back right after it happened, I would have learned that much quicker. But hey, I've always had fun because it's a great sport. I want to thank you for watching this video. I know it's a bit long with my rambling explanations, but I think it's kind of fun, and I hope you enjoy this type videos. Most of ours do explain stuff like that. Open to comments, whatever you guys let me know. Like a subscribe if you could. A like would be nice too, but you know what? If you stuck around this long, just want to thank you for that. So help those new players, be positive. If you feel there's too many toxic people in paintball, by going out helping new players, being a good example, showing them how they should act and how they shouldn't act, we'll weed out those toxic elements and we'll keep the sport we love alive and thriving. Thanks again. Have a great day.
Game over.